This is News 8 Now, this morning.
The counts are triple checked. They're checked at the municipal level, they're double checked at the county level, and then they're certified by the state.
Coming up, I'll have the latest on a new collaboration between the La Crosse Fire Department and Mayo Clinic Health System to improve the health and well-being of firefighters. That story coming up.
Conversations are important. Collaboration and really sitting down with people in the community who may feel like they've been underserved by law enforcement, or hearing from people their experiences with law enforcement, and then evaluating that and figuring out how do we continue to move forward.
All right, welcome to News 8 Now this morning. I'm Dua Shrar. Jordan Frumstead is off to this morning. It is a wonderful fall day out there, Derek.
Yeah, first day of fall and already feeling like it.
I'm loving the brisk air, I'm not going to lie, but I'm not looking forward to this pumpkin spice situation that everyone has going on. Say
it's
it right
such
here.
a thing, you know, it's crazy. I still haven't yet to try it, so.
I agree, and you know what? I've decided that I'm not going to.
Oh, come on. We got to try it at least once.
I don't know. All right.
Well, let's talk about some weather because, hey, it's a bit of a cool start here, as Dua, you mentioned that here clearly. And I got to tell you, we're in the 40s and 50s outside right now. 45 is the current reading in Winona. And if we take a look at La Crosse, you can see we're at a pretty chilly, as a matter of fact, 48-degree reading there, and 36 is the temperature currently in Black River Falls. There was my floating head there. I guess we don't have that camera there set up. But let's go ahead and take a look now at our temperature change map between 15 to just over 20 degrees of a much cooler difference this morning now across the Cooley region. So as you can see, it's a pretty chilly start here to the day. City Cam 8, though, as far as our sky conditions go, look very quiet, and we expect that really to continue throughout the majority of the day today. Now, as far as your local satellite and radar go, we had a couple of showers move in last night, but overall, conditions are looking dry and quiet here, to say the least, and we expect that trend to continue throughout the day today. Skies will turn mostly sunny during the afternoon. Temperatures warming up into the low to mid 60s, 65 degrees at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon today, so feeling comfortable there. Algae report shows ragweed and weeds low, mold is high, and the same forecast is in store for tomorrow. Weeds are pretty much done shedding pollen at this point, but things such as raking leaves could cause some allergens. I'll be back with your Schoolcast in just a bit. Dua?
Thanks, Derek. Well, a recent Marquette Law poll reveals that 56% of voters are very concerned that their votes are not being accurately counted. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen explains why voters are worried and how you can be sure the election is secure.
America is built on democracy, but in recent years, some have challenged that pillar.
We are encountering an unprecedented amount of conspiracy theories and misinformation online.
UW La Crosse political science professor Anthony Chergosky explains that in some cases, political rhetoric is to blame.
When a political leader says something like that they have doubt in the election results, then that's going to have a downstream effect on the views of the general public.
But that isn't voters' only concern.
Chergosky says recent Wisconsin court rulings, like the ones that prohibit use of absentee drop boxes like this one, may be contributing to the public mistrust.
A constant stream, it seems, of court rulings can change on a dime how elections are conducted in this state.
But Chergosky says Wisconsinites don't need to worry.
Elections in Wisconsin are remarkably transparent.
People like City Clerk Nikki Elson run elections, and she sees the concerns.
We go to the Wisconsin Election Commission website and we're like, okay, what is the latest memo on this?
But she assures voters that everything is secure.
The counts are triple checked. They're checked at the municipal level, they're double checked at the county level, and then they're certified by the state.
And voting machines are sealed, tested, and sealed again.
And every part of this, too, which is important to know, is transparent and it's open for public observation.
Elson encourages asking questions.
We want our elections to be secure. We want them to be safe. We want them, you know, that transparency is there.
And what she asks is the public pays attention. In La Crosse, Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
Elson says there are plenty of opportunities for the public to watch that process, and she also encourages anyone with questions or confusion about the process to contact their local city clerk. The Marquette Law School poll also discovered that more people are not happy with the U.S. Supreme Court's job. The national survey says 60% of adults currently disapprove of the job the court is doing, a number that's remained fairly consistent since June when the court voted to overturn Roe v. Wade. Absentee ballots are on their way to voters. If you are voting absentee, you will have a few rules to follow. Ballots must be returned by mail or in person, and you can only return a ballot in person for someone else if you're helping a disabled voter who can't do it themselves. Make sure you fill out all the information on the envelope and sign the certificate. Ballots must be returned on or before Election Day. And with the midterm election just weeks away, at the La Crosse Chamber Forum meeting, Assembly candidates from District 96 spoke on the #1 issue they aim to solve if elected in November. Incumbent and Republican Lauren Oldenburg says inflation is his highest concern, but his Democratic opponent and nurse Jane Swigum thinks the state should focus on solving health care concerns.
We got to get a control on the inflation, and there's a number of ways we can do that, possibly through a tax cut.
We need to do something to make sure that every person has access, not to just emergency care, but to normal, everyday clinic care.
Pair are running in the general election, and votes will be counted on November 8th. To check for the other politicians on your ballot, go to news8000.com. Well, Holmen residents have a chance to learn more about a public safety referendum on the November 8th ballot. The village is asking for a tax increase to help hire more police officers, firefighters, and EMTs. Today's public meeting starts at 6:30 at the Holmen Library. The two candidates for La Crosse County Sheriff answered questions from the public at a forum on Wednesday night. Each candidate got 30 minutes to introduce themselves and respond to questions. Republican Fritz Leinfelder says he has 30 years of experience working in law enforcement in La Crosse as a jailer, a patrol officer, and as a sheriff's deputy. If he's elected, Leinfelder says he wants to focus on mental health and solutions to addiction.
I think my strengths are to bring the community together, to be able to talk about these things, to help further conversations on what we need to do to address these kind of issues that we're seeing.
Leinfelder's Democratic opponent, John Siegel, has 29 years of experience in law enforcement, 20 of them as a sheriff's deputy. Siegel says he believes La Crosse County's law enforcement agencies are good and wants to continue recent improvements by listening to what the community wants to see.
Conversations are important. Collaboration and really sitting down with people in the community who may feel like they've been underserved by law enforcement, or hearing from people their experiences with law enforcement, and then evaluating that and figuring out how do we continue to move forward.
If you missed the forum last night and want to hear from both of the candidates, La Crosse County has a video of the full event on their Facebook page. Governor Tony Evers wants you to be able to decide the future of abortion access in Wisconsin. On Wednesday, Evers pushed the legislature to allow voters to make decisions on any issue via ballot referendum. Wisconsin doesn't allow that for now, even though half the states in the country do. Evers says this step is worth the extra effort as the change is necessary to take on abortion bans specifically.
If Republican legislators aren't going to uphold the will of the people, then the people of the state should have the right to take a stand at the ballot box.
That's why Governor Evers wants to make it easier for Wisconsinites to put constitutional amendments and laws on the ballot as referenda. He's calling the legislature back into session next month to try and make that happen. Why now? Because Evers says abortion is on the ballot.
And when it comes to reproductive freedom, the will of the people isn't the law of the land. But it damn well should be, folks.
Right now, the only statewide referenda are for constitutional amendments, but it's a long process. It first has to be passed by the legislature in 2 different sessions before going to the people for a vote. The change would allow anyone to propose an amendment or a new law. Just get enough signatures and it's on the ballot.
This would give, if you like, an escape valve for people who feel that somehow the democracy is no longer representing them. If they can get enough signatures, they can get on the ballot a particular proposal.
The change would affect any topic going forward, not just abortion. Evers says he got the idea from U.S. Senator Ron Johnson, who's pushed for Wisconsin voters to have a say on the issue.
I think the democratic process in Wisconsin will have something other than the 1849 law.
Last week, Johnson floated the idea of putting a referendum on the state's abortion ban before the people.
As of last week, this idea has new bipartisan support in Wisconsin. I agree with U.S. Senator Ron Johnson, and there's a sentence for you.
the legislature approves it, Wisconsinites can submit possible laws or constitutional amendments as referenda to the state's Elections Commission. With enough signatures, those proposals would be on the ballot. Now, if the legislature decides to take up Evers' proposal, it would have to approve it twice. However, they may not approve it, as some Assembly and Senate leaders think that the move is a political stunt. Still ahead on your morning news, union workers at Molson Coors in Milwaukee are on strike to make their voices heard. And University of Minnesota students are receiving the short end of the stick at campus dining halls. That's all coming up when we return. But for right now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Thousands of fans flocked to the Strip on Tuesday evening to celebrate the Aces WNBA championship. They showed up in big numbers enough that officials had to block both sides of traffic on the Strip after originally planning to block just one street. The Aces are the first professional team to bring a championship to the city. Aces coach Becky Hammon echoed thoughtful words, saying she was not only proud of her team, but just as much for the crowd that showed up to celebrate with the team.
Menards is a one-stop shop for everything you need. Plus, get 11% off. When it comes to cleaning, Zep has you covered. From kitchens to bathrooms, Zep Cleaning Solutions tackle the toughest messes. Get 11% off all Zep cleaning supplies. Stock up on your favorite Procter & Gamble products. They deliver quality products from brands that you can trust, like Dawn, Tide, and Bounty. Get 11% off all Procter & Gamble products now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Under Governor Evers, hard-working Wisconsin families are being left behind. We're paying more for food, gas, everything. And Tony Evers tried to make us pay even more, a 20% gas tax increase, doubling the tax on home heating bills. And while Evers puts the squeeze on us, he wanted to give taxpayer-funded benefits to people who refuse to work. He even opposes drug testing welfare recipients. Tony Evers is leaving hard-working Wisconsin families behind.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need tractors rated #1 in durability and owner experience so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut. And Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, plus save up to $1,100.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Well, you might need a light jacket as you head out the door this morning. Current temperature readings are in the 40s, but we got some 30s, such as Black River Falls at 36, Sparta's at 39 degrees, even Volkfield to the east, also looking cool there into the upper 30s. Your zone forecast today calls for temperatures to be a little cooler again, with highs reaching the mid-60s for La Crosse County today. As we head south, it'll be 63 in Gaze Mills and 60 today in Viroqua, 63 in Lafarge today, and 63 and sunny in Stoddard. Highs reaching 63 as well in Blair and 62 in Warrens today, 63 63 degrees this afternoon in Melrose and 62 in Osseo. Highs reaching the low 60s across our north zones with plenty of sun to go around as well. Schoolcast today, 50 degrees this morning at the bus stop, 61 with mostly sunny skies by the lunch hour, and expect mostly sunny conditions with temperatures reaching 65 degrees around dismissal. I'll be back with your full weather forecast coming up in just a bit.
Well, after sinking every day for more than 3 months straight, the average price for a gallon of gas just went up. Although the price has only gone up a penny, the average price now sits at $3.68. The increase ends a 98-day streak of falling gas prices at the pump. That was the second longest streak on record, dating back to 2005. Although 1 cent isn't too much, experts say if the prices keep ticking up, that could make it harder for the general government to keep inflation in check. And the Federal Reserve announced it's raising its benchmark interest rate by 3/4 of a percentage point. It was the third consecutive rate hike of that size, but the central bank is warning investors to expect more as it tries to tame inflation, which is at a 4-decade high. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell says he wants to raise rates high enough to slow the economy and drive inflation down without triggering a recession. And fans of the Apple TV show Ted Lasso will soon get to virtually be the mustachioed manager and play as AFC Richmond in the upcoming EA Sports FIFA 23 video game. Not only will you get to kick the ball around with your favorite characters from Roy Kent to Jamie Tart and more, but you'll get to do so inside their made-for-TV home stadium, Nelson Road. Early access to FIFA 23 begins on September 27th. As Molson Coors leaders gather in Nashville this week for the company's annual distributor convention, union workers at the Milwaukee production facility are picketing the lack of a 3-year contract extension and threatening to strike. WDJT Milwaukee reports.
We need a contract! No contract, no beer.
We are the largest workforce inside the brewery.
That's the warning dozens of Molson Coors brewery workers are giving as they picketed through rain and shine for fair contracts.
People are just burnt out and they're tired and they want to show their support and have their voice be heard that they deserve more than what's on the table for them.
UAW Local 9 bargaining chairperson Joe Kanslider tells me the union has been negotiating with their employer since July and have yet to reach an agreement on both sides.
It was not as good as what we were hoping for.
He says the beverage company proposed some pay cuts and a 2-tier wage scale. That would mean some employees would make less than others for doing the same job. Kanslider says the company tried the 2-tier method from 2013 to 2016 and it didn't work.
Allowing a 2-tier wage scale to come in is divisive and kind of the antithesis of what our union is about.
They're demanding a higher wage increase and improved working conditions, including less excessive overtime, more PTO, and better benefits.
We worked right through the pandemic. You know, we had a mass shooting here over 2 years ago. We feel that we deserve more.
Those picketing say a strike isn't ideal.
We want to keep working and we want to keep making beer in Milwaukee.
But it's not off the table.
They have options at their disposal, and so do we.
Local brewery workers bargaining chair Joe Kanslider says negotiations have been going on since July. Negotiations are expected to resume on Friday.
Well, it sure is a nice clear start, but temperatures are slightly on the cooler side this morning. Right around 48 degrees with a north wind at around 5 miles an hour. And our river stage is at 5.11 feet and dropping this morning. Current temperature readings across the rest of the area mainly into the 40s, but we're seeing 30s, such as Black River Falls. You're at 35 degrees. Sparta's at 39, and so is Volkfield there to the east. But again, really the temperatures are into the 40s, I should say, with temperature changes mainly between around 15 to about 25 degrees cooler compared to just what we had over the last 24 hours. So you'll notice it as you step outside the door this morning. Yesterday's high was 74 degrees, putting us right at the average mark of 74, as a matter of fact, and our low was 53, pretty close to average there too. For today, I'm expecting highs to drop to 66, and that's going to put us well below the average high this time of the year of 73. Even our low temperature this morning of 49 will put us slightly below average of 52 degrees. Let's talk about your high temperatures across the area today. Definitely feeling nice into the 60s. Going to feel good in here in La Crosse at 62. Sparta will be at 63, and I'm expecting Winona to reach around 62 degrees this afternoon. All right, so the first day of fall is officially today at 8:04 p.m. Central Time. That's when it officially begins, and we transition to a new new season. And what is the equinox? Well, it actually is a Latin word that stands for equal day and night. And what happens is that the sun is positioned directly over the equator. And what that means is it's going to be the most amount of equal day and night across the world, really. And also it marks the beginning of a new season, hence fall. And you'll notice our temperatures will start to take effect on that here as we head throughout the next several weeks, especially. As far as our weather goes, conditions are remaining quiet. High pressure to the north is expected to build across the area later today, leading to a nice day here. As a matter of fact, mostly sunny at noon and then mostly cloudy, 65 degrees by the time 5 o'clock rolls around. Then by 9 p.m. we're partly cloudy, temperatures at around 54 degrees. So that high pressure system to the north is going to start building its way south across the area, across the upper Midwest throughout the day today, giving way to tranquil weather conditions. We do expect changes, though. This low pressure system building to our west at the moment is going to move in tomorrow to give us clouds and showers here across the area, it looks like. And then that will continue. The wet pattern and cloudy weather pattern will continue as we head into the weekend. You can see our rain chances will go up here over the next few days from that system. And then as we head into next week, we'll be looking at mainly sunny skies with temperatures mainly into the 60s and 70s and lows into the 40s and 50s. So overall, it's a mostly sunny day with temperatures in the 60s. But stay with us, though. We'll have much more news and weather still to come right here on News 8 Now this morning. For now, we're taking a quick break. Here's a look at what happened on this day in history. We'll be right back.
Under Governor Evers, hardworking Wisconsin families are being left behind. We're paying more for food, gas, everything. And Tony Evers tried to make us pay even more, a 20% gas tax increase, doubling the tax on home heating bills. And while Evers puts the squeeze on us, he wanted to give taxpayer-funded benefits to people who refuse to work. He even opposes drug testing welfare recipients. Tony Evers is leaving hard-working Wisconsin families behind.
Why are we the clear choice for new windows?
A 5-star customer experience. Our exclusive Weather Guardian installation system ensures your windows are weather tight. Windows installed by factory trained employees, not subcontractors. Windows that are 1,500% more airtight than industry standards. Foam filled frames and sashes. The most efficient triple pane glass in the industry.
For a limited time, receive a free triple pane upgrade.
There's power in the simplest of actions, like one neighbor helping another, where everybody looks out for everybody else. Community is everything to your electric cooperative, and we're grateful for your trust to provide the energy you need, giving you the power to power on. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
Professor Penny, I need to take a 4-cheese quesadilla back to my lab. I got you, girl. It is mathematically impossible to fit 4 cheeses inside. Better get 2 for research purposes.
The new 4-cheese quesadilla at Taco John's.
You're not always going to be here, but you always have this. Whether you're here, or anywhere really, the News 8000 app lets you stay updated on your time. Get it today so you can have here.
They're destroying America and our livelihoods. Now, DC elites are spending big on Brad Paff. The same Beltway bigwigs who wasted taxpayer money that bailed out elite golf courses and luxury hotels are now bankrolling Brad Paff's campaign because Brad Paff supported their big spending, price-hiking, reckless schemes. And that's why we can't send him to Washington. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The 8000 Plus app. Stream on your time.
The much cooler starts across the Coulee region this morning, and we're still feeling the effects from that cold front that moved in from the past 48 hours. Let's talk about the current readings. 45 now in Winona and 44 in La Crosse. It's 44 in Eau Claire, I should say. 39 degrees currently the temperature in Sparta. So your dog walking forecast this morning looks pretty nice. Sunshine, but you may want to pack a light jacket with you for you and your furry friend heading out the door. Mostly sunny for the afternoon, and then by this evening, skies will then turn mostly cloudy. Mowing forecast looks a little cool out there this morning. 49 degrees by 7, 59 at 11, and then we're up to 65 degrees under mostly sunny skies for the afternoon. Stay tuned. I'll have your commute plus your boating forecast coming up next in weather.
Our homes are extensions of who we are. New beginnings, first steps, moments lasting in time, where an idea becomes a mission, hope becomes belief, and what was once unattainable finally reaches our grasp. For all the birthday wishes, Friday nights, and newfound friends, we'll be there. Window World, America's exterior remodeler, improving homes, changing lives.
I received a call that my granddaughter had been hit. She suffered a serious brain injury and nearly died. The driver should have been in jail. Mandela Barnes supports no cash bail that puts criminals like Darrell Brooks back on the streets. He's more worried about criminals than victims. Mandela Barnes doesn't have the judgment to keep our communities safe.
Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
We should prank Allison. Yeah. Okay. Is your refrigerator running? Yeah, why? Well, you better go catch it. Ooh, we should prank Shobi. Ooh, yeah. Is your furnace running?
No, I haven't turned it on yet.
I know who you should call. Call GNT. For the best heating and air conditioning guaranteed.
When you safely dispose of the unused medications in your home, you protect your whole family. But when our whole community does it, we can protect so many more. Wisconsin often leads the nation in safe drug disposal, so let's keep it up. Participate in the next Drug Take-Back Day in your community, or find a year-round safe disposal drop box near you. Get started today at doseofrealitywi.gov.
At a company, the culture comes from the top. Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times over sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. Women who worked for Michaels' company said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Higher-ups at Michaels dismissed the women as liars and even fired those who spoke out. Is that what we need for Wisconsin? Tim Michaels, too radical, too divisive.
If you can hear this, you're losing energy. If you're losing energy, you're losing money. We can help. Contact River Valley Remodelers today. Our windows have been recognized as the most efficient of Energy Star 2022. They come in many styles and fade-resistant colors. Our design specialists can help you pick out the right style for your home. The best way to start your project is to contact us. For a limited time, buy 3 windows, get 1 free. River Valley Remodelers. Improve your home, build our community.
Download the News 8000 First Alert weather app from your app store today.
U.S. courts may end up deciding the latest dispute over migrants in the U.S. Some Republican governors have been sending them to more liberal jurisdictions, and that's prompted a lawsuit and a criminal investigation. Amy Kiley has the reaction.
I am very glad that the sheriff chose to open an investigation.
Legal action is brewing over efforts to ship migrants north. Governors in these states have been sending them to areas they call sanctuaries. The president's home state of Delaware got word Florida Governor Ron DeSantis may send migrants there.
Do you have any comment or response to that, sir?
He should come visit. We have a beautiful shoreline.
A sheriff in San Antonio, Texas, is investigating 2 flights that originated there. DeSantis took credit for flying nearly 50 migrants to Martha's Vineyard in coastal Massachusetts.
It's up to the authorities on the ground there to figure out what did and didn't happen.
Most of those migrants are part of a class action lawsuit against Florida officials. It alleges organizers used fraudulent tactics to get the migrants on the planes. In a response last night, DeSantis argued participation was voluntary. Some Republicans say ending the Trump administration's Remain in Mexico policy has led to overcrowding.
The facilities along that border in South Texas or even in Arizona and California, they are overwhelmed.
But some Democrats say the governors are using desperate people as political pawns.
This is just disgusting. I think if there are state laws or federal laws that have been broken, that needs to be investigated.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Now, both sides agree the bigger problem is what's driving the migrants to the U.S., but the problem comes down to agreeing on what to do about it. Now, students at Minnesota's university are going hungry. The group of parents touring the school took photos of empty buffets where unlimited food should be seen. The school is currently facing a staffing shortage, and that shortage is forcing the school to limit dining hours. Students are given Lunchables and pizza in some dining halls.
I went there once at 9 p.m. to eat some dinner because I know the dining hall was open and there was like nothing there except for like cookies.
University is 142 employees short right now, and reducing hours is part of solving that problem. As for the Lunchables, the university said in a statement the Lunchables are not a meal or meal replacement in residential dining halls. In this case, the product was nearing the expiration date, and a well-meaning employee placed them out for students to take for free. Gunderson Health System is joining the effort to feed the hungry as well. Gunderson donated $50,000 to the food pantry to help fund the transformation of Wayfair's new location. Wayfair is taking over the former Gordy's Market building on La Crosse's north side, and the pantry's executive director says a donation like this will help them serve even more people.
You know, Gunderson Health System has been supportive of Wayfair for so long, and so it's not really a surprise that they decided to come alongside us in this project, but we're very thrilled that they find value in the project.
The new facility will include more storage for both food and vehicles, loading docks, and a drive-up canopy. Last year, Wayfair served 30,000 people. The building is expected to be finished in the spring. And an exciting project to revitalize downtown is in the works. Contractors are working to design a walkway on Pearl Street to make the community more walkable for both tourists and locals, and to appreciate the beauty of the river. Experts say it's really about connecting the Driftless area to show the community and our region and draw interest to the areas. Now, contractors wanted the community's projects on the project and held a virtual meeting on Wednesday evening. And the Secretary for Wisconsin's Department of Children and Families is announcing the next set of Partner Up grant winners. Secretary Emily Amundsen held a press conference Wednesday to announce the businesses the grant money can be used to increase paying expenses and improving the quality of child care programs. Amundsen says organizations that invest in better child care efforts have a substantially positive effect on their communities.
Employers are able to offer the attractive benefits of childcare to remain competitive in a tight labor market. Parents are able to access quality care and keep more money in their pockets for other expenses.
The Partner Up program has given 88 grants to organizations all over the state, 21 of which are going to programs right here in western Wisconsin. Schools all across the country are facing a wave of disruptions from false reports of school shootings and threats. Some know these false reports as swatting because they are meant to bring in SWAT teams or other heavily armed police units. Both Logan and Holman High School experienced these threats within the last week. Violence in schools is becoming a national crisis, worrying students and their families. Police officials are urging the public to come forward with any information. The physical demands for firefighters on the job are known to be difficult. Mayo Clinic Health System is now launching a program to help La Crosse firefighters reach new levels of their strength and well-being. News 8 Now's Rob Romano explains.
In the heat of an emergency, firefighters need the strength to not only fight fires, but to carry people to safety. A new collaboration between Mayo Clinic Health System and the La Crosse Fire Department is aimed at improving each firefighter's strength and well-being. On Wednesday, 3 firefighters with the La Crosse Fire Department completed an obstacle course while wearing a heart rate monitor and other gear, so Mayo Clinic can get a better measurement of their skills.
We were just trying to help them be able to do it at the highest level while also looking at trying to reduce aches and pains and try and hopefully reduce some risk of injury along the way.
Joel Ludke is an athletic trainer and strength and conditioning coach with Mayo Clinic. He says that in addition to assessing each firefighter's strength, the health system is also going to conduct a number of fitness tests and then measure the results of those tests every 4 or 5 weeks. Aaron Stotts has been with the La Crosse Fire Department for years, She says the program is a huge benefit.
Getting, specific movements to do for your body. It's going to reduce injury.
La Crosse Fire Chief Jeff Schott says physical fitness goes into every aspect of responding to an emergency.
Everything that we do as far as our job duties as firefighters and EMTs is all predicated on our fitness levels, and that goes to our preparation for execution and excellence on the fire ground. And there's nothing more important than that, and that's why we dedicate part of our duty day every day to fitness.
In La Crosse, Rob Romano, News 8 Now.
Fire Chief Schott expects a sizable number of firefighters to participate in the program on a monthly or quarterly basis. Mayo is going to use the information gathered from the program as part of a study. And the largest annual regional job fair happens today at the Omni Center. The Cooley Region Job Fair has more than 65 regional employers, with some doing on-site interviews and hiring. This year, there will be a job seeker resource area to help people with resumes, veteran and youth services, and career services. The fair starts at 2 today. There is a free shuttle to take people from the Main Street Library in La Crosse to the Omni Center. Suicide prevention is the focus of a presentation at Viterbo University today. It's part of an Ethics in Leadership Fall Lecture Series and the La Crosse Area Suicide Prevention Action. A featured speaker will talk about how everyone plays a role in suicide prevention. The presentation begins at 7 p.m. It will also be streamed on Viterbo Ethics Facebook page. Western Technical College is hosting a pop-up community resource fair at its Toma campus this afternoon. The event will have clothing collected by the Suits for Success event. The pop-up will also have hygiene to-go bags, community resource referrals, healthcare help, and raffle prizes. The event is free and open to the public. Well, it's almost time for an annual celebration of culture, and Lincoln Middle School students celebrated with an all-school assembly for Hmong New Year. Students performed traditional dances and gave presentations about why cultural celebration is important to the Hmongs. Everyone is encouraged to come, especially if it is your first time.
We want people to come and bring their families and friends and, enjoy the festivities over there with the Hmong people.
Along with traditional clothing and dances, the celebration will also include authentic Hmong food. Hmong New Year begins this Saturday at Veterans Memorial Park in West Salem.
Definitely off to a clear start this morning here in the Cooley region. That is exactly what our satellite and radar picture is showing, but a little bit cool here with temperatures in the 40s. 44 right now in Eau Claire, 39 degrees currently, as a matter of fact, in Sparta. And Black River Falls, you're actually cooler than that at 35 degrees. Meanwhile, Viroqua was at 44. Rest of the day today, warming up to 66 degrees. Partly cloudy skies, north-northwest winds at 10 to 15. For tonight, 45 degrees and cooler. Partly cloudy skies, winds will remain on the light and variable side of things. Boating forecast looks a little cool out there today. Temperatures warming up into the 60s under mainly sunny skies. As we take a look now at your DriveCast today, things will look sunny but cool here for the morning, followed by mostly sunny skies for your lunch hour. And then by the time the evening commute rolls around, we may be turning a little on the cloudier side. Dua?
Thanks, Derek. Well, coming up on our Buzz Report, country feuds brewing before the CMA Awards, Maren Morris and Jason Aldean's feud when we return.
Prices are going up on groceries, they're going up at the gas station. The only ones profiting are oil companies, big corporations, China, and Ron Johnson. Johnson makes money from investments in factories in China. No wonder Johnson's net worth has doubled since he's been in Washington. Even worse, Johnson's allowed oil and drug companies to jack up prices on us. He takes all that money from them. Ron Johnson profits, we pay the price. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Add style to your home with a new ceiling fan from Menards. Check out our great selection of Hunter fans. They help save on energy costs and provide year-round comfort. Save today with 11% off all Hunter ceiling fans. Do more than light up a room with Sylvania LED light bulbs. TrueWave reduces blue light, helping you see better and fall asleep easier. All Sylvania LED bulbs are 11% off now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Scouting has helped them build confidence through problem solving, learning to cook over a fire, building a tent in areas that they don't always get exposed to.
It's not competitive. It really helps develop your son or daughter into a great human being.
This is a great opportunity for your child to get to know the outdoors, and there's so much that outside and nature can provide for our children, and having these experiences is what Scouting is all about.
Meet Brad Paff. He never had a job outside of politics. Seriously, he hung around long enough to climb that political ladder. He'll never fix Washington. He won't even try. Me, I spent 26 years fighting for our country. I served as a Navy SEAL, and I know how to get things done. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message. Let's try something different. Let's change the people we're sending to D.C.
Get yourself to the annual Warren's Cranberry Festival the last full weekend in September. Stroll over 3 miles of the most unique art and craft, flea and farm vendors in the country. If you can't find it here, you won't find it anywhere. See a working cranberry marsh with free walking tours. Eat your way through over 80 food booths, including ethnic specialties and Warren's own cranberry cream puff. And stay through Sunday and enjoy our grand parade. It's all happening the last full weekend of September. Just take the Warren's exit off I-94.
There's case after case. Women working for Tim Michaels' construction company saying they were groped, sexually assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. When they resisted, they say they were threatened, called a liar, and forced to resign. And when co-workers spoke up, they were fired. If this is how Tim Michaels runs his business, how do you think he'd run the state? Tim Michaels' radical agenda is so very, very wrong.
Every 5 minutes, a life is lost from fentanyl, ravaging families nationwide, just like it did mine. My 18-year-old son died from a counterfeit pill laced with fentanyl. There are no words to describe the pain of what it's like to lose a child. It's why I'm sharing my story in hope that it may prevent this awful nightmare from happening to you. I'm pleading with you, please talk to your kids about the danger of fentanyl-laced pills.
Well, it sure is a nice clear start across the Cooley region now. City Cam 8 verifying that for us now. 48 degrees with clear skies, north winds at 5 miles an hour, but it feels a tad cooler than the actual temperature. Only when you factor in just a little bit of wind, it feels like 46 degrees due to the wind chill. Our river stage is at 5.11 feet this morning along the Mississippi River. Current temperatures as you head out the door, mainly into the 40s, but there are some spots that are cooler. Black River Falls is just shy of that freezing mark. They're currently at 33. Sparta's at 39 degrees. Eau Claire's at 44, and so is Viroqua. And overall, that's a huge difference compared to what just happened over the last 24 hours, at least by about 15 to 25 degrees or so of a cooler difference. So you'll notice it as you head out the door this morning. And speaking of temperatures, yesterday was a pretty nice day. It was 74 degrees. That was the average here for this time of the year. For today, I'm expecting temperatures to be well below the average high of 73 because I'm expecting 66 today overall. The low even will be cooler too. 49 degrees will put us below the average low, I should say, of 52. The forecast highs across the rest of the area today look like this with the 60s. So we'll feel nice today across the area with highs reaching around 63 in Sparta and 63 as well in Eau Claire. Highs reaching 61 though if you are in Viroqua. So today is the autumn equinox and it officially begins tonight at 8:04 p.m. Central Time. That marks the beginning of the fall season. So what happens and what exactly occurs here? Well, first of all, the equinox is a Latin word which means equal day and equal night. And what happens is when we have the sun directly positioned over the equator, it's one of the only times of the year where we experience the most equal amount of day and night for our northern and southern hemispheres, marking the beginning of the fall season. You'll notice temperatures will begin to drop here, especially after the next several weeks or so. We got clear skies right now across the area. High pressure just off to our north is expected to build in across the region today. giving way to mainly sunny skies for the majority of the day today. So you'll see that high pressure system begin to track its way south across the area, especially by the time we reach this evening. That's why not only today but also this evening looks quiet. But here comes this next system. It's an area of low pressure trough, and that's going to give us some cloud cover and showers to work with tomorrow and through this weekend. We could be looking at those off and on showers, which is why our rain chances are expected to climb here starting tomorrow and then continue into this weekend a little bit. As we head into next week, things dry out, skies will turn mainly sunny, and temperatures will be in the 60s, low temperatures in the 40s and low 50s.
All right, thanks, Derek. Well, in our Buzz report this morning, Jimmy Kimmel says he's looking forward to quiet quitting. Don't worry, however, it doesn't mean the late night host is quitting his show. He's just ready to slow it down a bit. Kimmel has actually re-signed with ABC for another 3 years. His contract was set to expire next year, and he admits he's considered retiring from the show while he figures it out. Fans are happy to get a few more years with the comedian. And although she's nominated for a Country Album of the Year award, singer Maren Morris says she's thinking about skipping the CMA Awards. And the news comes as the star would feel uncomfortable attending the awards ceremony after a recent dispute with fellow country star Jason Aldean and his wife, according to the LA Times. The couple made comments on social media about young people receiving gender-affirming care, and Morris criticized those comments as transphobic and felt the need to stand against bigotry in the country music community. Well, if you missed yesterday's medallion hunt hint, clue number 3 is originally on the Gopher side of the river for more than a century and all-around recreational giver. A beach, gazebo, discourse, and even a lagoon offering seasonal fun with paddles, skates, and even more strewn. Here is today's medallion hunt hint. Clue number 4 is back from battle to haul passengers, goods, and wares, docked along the Black to take on more upstairs. Inexperienced with a new special kind of fluid, a lantern sparked the fire that remains somewhat disputed. Medallion Hunt is sponsored by Emerge 360. And we're heading to break with today's look at Look Who's 8.
That's right. We want to wish a happy 8th birthday to Tenley this morning, and she is a witty 8-year-old who enjoys sports and camping with her family. Happy birthday, Tenley.
Happy 80th birthday to Carol. She loves her favorite soap opera, Young and the Restless.
And John is turning 88 today. He enjoys carving wood and singing karaoke.
Happy 88 years to Bill. He is an Army veteran who enjoys the outdoors and the occasional glass of wine.
Can't forget that glass of wine,
no,
right?
not at all.
We want to wish happy 8 years to Madeline as well. She loves spending time with her family, so happy birthday, Madeline.
Happy birthday to Christine. She is turning 88 today. She loves telling people she's going into her piano years. She enjoys Friday fish fries and lager games.
Cool. And if you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 80 years old, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com. Look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website. And stay with us. We'll have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less on your Morning News Now. Next.
Ahead on CBS Mornings, astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson is taking a cosmic look at life right here on Earth. He'll join us live at the table to talk about his new book where he shares his scientific view on everything from race to gambling. Also in our series, Pushing the Limits, Lee Cowan takes us to the deepest parts of the ocean called the Mariana Trench. Meet the scientists who conquered the odds to explore it. And a huge, and I do mean huge, honor for Harry Styles last night at Madison Square Garden right here in New York City. And we were lucky enough to be there to tell the tale. We'll tell you what it is. Plus, here's a question. How in the world did I end up on stage with Harry wearing a feather boa? Yes, Harry Styles touched me. Find out when we see you, 7 o'clock on the dot.
Hurry in for the Hy-Vee 12-hour sale this Thursday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve New York Strips, only $4.99. Buy one, get one free on Market Grill Express Breakfast. And Hy-Vee cereal, only 99 cents. Only at Hy-Vee.
There's case after case. Women working for Tim Michaels Construction Company saying they were groped, sexually assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. When they resisted, they say they were threatened, called a liar, and forced to resign. And when co-workers spoke up, they were fired. If this is how Tim Michaels runs his business, how do you think he'd run the state? Tim Michaels' radical agenda is so very, very wrong.
Take your wand.
That's not a wand, it's a stick.
It will be a wand once you learn your magic. American Home Fireplace and Patio here. Who doesn't eat every day? Why not let us make your meals all special? Great gas, perfect pellet, and charming charcoal Komodos are in stock waiting for you.
Where's your wand?
Right here. It used to be a stick.
What happened?
It grew.
At a company, the culture comes from the top. Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times over sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. Women who worked for Michaels' company said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Higher-ups at Michaels dismissed the women as liars and even fired those who spoke out. Is that what we need for Wisconsin? Tim Michaels, too radical, too divisive.
I still hear it all the time. You don't do that in the winter, do you? Well, yes, we do. For over 30 years, our skilled craftsmen have installed windows, doors, siding, and sunrooms all year round. And you have the assurance of the same 10-year labor warranty we offer on all of our installations. For the very best products for exterior of your home, contact the Board Store Home Improvements today. 524 Copeland Avenue, La Crosse, theboardstoreonline.com, or call 608-782-8877.
Violent crime up across Wisconsin. Families nervous about their safety. Yet Mandela Barnes called for releasing half of Wisconsin's jailed inmates. That would mean releasing over 10,000 criminals right into our neighborhoods. 10,000 reasons your family would be in more danger. Barnes also supported defunding the police. 10,000 more criminals with fewer police to protect us. What could go wrong? Wisconsin Truth Bank is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hurry in for the Hy-Vee 12-hour sale this Thursday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Brew Pub Pizza, only $4.99. That's Smart Sugar, only $1.48. And Moondrop Black Grapes, only 99 cents a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
Explore the La Crosse region, just a road trip away.
You make plans. What to wear, where to go, when to go, what to bring. And then weather changes everything. News 8 Now First Alert Weather will prepare you for what's coming early, often, and accurately, so you can plan your life. Download the News 8000 First Alert Weather app from your app store today.
Your morning news now. The two candidates for La Crosse County Sheriff answered questions from the public at a forum on Wednesday night. Each candidate got 30 minutes to introduce themselves and respond to questions. Republican Fritz Leinfelder says he has 30 years of experience working in law enforcement in La Crosse as a jailer, a patrol officer, and a sheriff's deputy. Leinfelder says if he's elected, he wants to focus on mental health and addiction solutions.
I think my strengths are to bring the community together, to be able to talk about these things, to help further conversations on what we need to do to address these kind of issues that we're seeing.
Leinfelder's Democratic opponent, John Siegel, has 29 years of experience in law enforcement, 20 of them as a sheriff's deputy. Siegel says he believes La Crosse County's law enforcement agencies are good and wants to continue recent improvements by listening to what the community wants to see.
Conversations are important. Collaboration and really sitting down with people in the community who may feel like they've been underserved by law enforcement, or hearing from people their experiences with law enforcement, and then evaluating that and figuring out how do we continue to move forward.
If you missed the forum last night and want to hear from both of the candidates, La Crosse County has a video of the full event on their Facebook page. Holmen residents have a chance to learn more about a public safety referendum on the November 8th ballot. The village is asking for a tax increase to help hire more police officers, firefighters, and EMTs. Today's public meeting starts at 6:30 at the Holmen Library.
We'll start this morning with temperatures in the 40s mainly. We will bump it to the 50s later this morning, followed by the 60s into the afternoon under mostly sunny skies.
Gunderson Health System is joining the effort to feed the hungry. Gunderson donated $50,000 to the food pantry to help fund the transformation of Wafer's new location. Wafer is taking over the former Gordy's Market building on La Crosse's north side, and the pantry's executive director says a donation like this will help them serve even more people.
You know, Gunderson Health System has been supportive of Wave for so long, and so it's not really a surprise that they decided to come alongside us in this project, but we're very thrilled that they find value in the project.
The new facility will include more storage for both food and vehicles, loading docks, and a drive-up canopy. Last year, Wayfair served 30,000 people. The building project is expected to be finished in the spring. And an exciting project to revitalize downtown is in the works. Contractors are working to design a walkway on Pearl Street to make the community more walkable for both tourists and locals, and to appreciate the beauty of the river.
It's really about connecting to the entire Driftless area to showcase our community, not our region, to draw people's interest to the La Crosse area.
Contractors wanted the community's thoughts on the project and held a virtual meeting on Wednesday evening. The Secretary for Wisconsin's Department of Children and Families is announcing the next set of Partner Up grant winners. Secretary Emily Amundsen held a press conference Wednesday to announce the businesses. The grant money can be used to increase paying expenses, and improving the quality of child care programs. Amundsen says organizations that invest in better child care efforts have a substantially positive effect on their communities.
Employers are able to offer the attractive benefits of childcare to remain competitive in a tight labor market. Parents are able to access quality care and keep more money in their pockets for other expenses.
The Partner Up program has given 88 grants to organizations all over the state, 21 of which are going to programs right here in western Wisconsin.
And as you head out the door today, pack a light jacket with you. Temperatures are in the 40s, low 50s. Mostly sunny by noon today, 60 degrees, and a little cloudier here later today, closer towards the evening hours. Temperatures, as far as our highs, reach around 66.
And don't forget to keep up with the news of the day on news8000.com. We'll have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Have a great day. Enjoy the fall day. Take a coat, like Derek said, and, check out that pumpkin spice, maybe.
You're into that, maybe.
We'll decide later.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, everyone. See you soon.